Welcome back to the show, the EPL Fanbase Show, the show that keeps you connected with the happening in the English Premier League. My name is FM Steve, and I'm joined in the show by football pundit Josiah. Josiah, how are you?
I'm good.
And of course, SP, a man from Old Trafford. SP, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Okay, so let's try to go straight to what will be happening this coming weekend. And first of all, it's the return of football fans. And there was a report from the Premier League last week. I think that was on the 26th of November. And I'll just take it very fast. They say only half of the Premier League stadiums, mainly in London, will be allowed the return of some fans when the coronavirus restrictions are relaxed. That is now this week, according to new government measures that was announced last week on Thursday. Another 10 top division clubs are in areas classified as highest risk of COVID-19 infection, so will remain closed to spectators, including Manchester side, United, and City. Even stadiums that partially reopen will only have home fans who will be asked to keep to social distancing and avoid close contact like hugging. Up to 2,000 fans will be allowed into games at Liverpool and Everton from Wednesday this week because the region has been placed into Tier 2. That is the same classification for London, providing entry for up to 2,000 fans at Arsenal, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Tottenham, and West Ham, and on the south coast of Brighton and Southampton. So it means Arsenal will be allowed to reopen Emirates Stadium for the Europa League home match against Rapid Vienna this Thursday. The statement from Arsenal: while we appreciate that reduced capacity matches will be far from being back to normal, we cannot wait to welcome our fans back home for what will be a historic moment for the club. That was a statement from Arsenal. Let's now try to talk about it, because they say Manchester United home game the previous night on December 2nd in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain, the day the national lockdown ends, will still be shut for spectators. But United will play in front of fans in London at West Ham on December, I think in their next fixture, which will be the first Premier League game since March to have any crowd. So let's try to talk about this restriction. Very fast, SP, what is your take on it? Some fans are allowed and others are not allowed. I remember Leeds manager was not so happy with this. So what do you have to say about this return to fans?
Steve, I think it's a welcome move. I think this year has taught us that there are much more important things than just football, and us being healthy is quite as important. So I'm happy that fans are going back into stadiums. As a fan, I was a bit annoyed that United will still continue playing behind closed doors. But however, I understand this COVID-19 pandemic is real, and therefore we have to continue to take precaution. And 2,000 fans, if you think about it, at stadiums is not the ideal you'd want, but it's a good place to start. My main concern would be the adrenaline in the game, and they've told fans there's no hugging, there's no shouting, there's no singing. I don't know how possible it will be to actually deal with the fans to ensure that. But I saw that the Arsenal Rapid Vienna game, the 2,000 tickets sold out in less than 20 minutes. So you can tell just how hungry fans are to get back to the stadium. So personally, happy to see fans back in the stadium. hopefully we get a solution to this whole COVID business and get back to a normal life, because we also are missing out on going out into stadiums locally as well. And so it's a welcome move. Let's see how it goes moving forward.
Josiah, what do you have to say about this return to fans, but not in all stadium, but some areas?
Yeah, so there is okay, like SP has said, it's a welcome move. So it's a good place to start. I don't want to repeat anything on the thought. But positively, if you look at it, I am hoping that this is going to rejuvenate Arsenal at least. Knowing that fans are gonna be there, Arsenal should look forward to this, because anyway, for their home games, they are allowed fans to come in, and 3 home losses, at least I think with fans, they will change. Something will change. So for me, I just don't want to add to what has been there, but it's a good place to start. Some of these clubs need, that rejuvenation. My only the only downside to it is not because some clubs are allowed fans and others are not, because they're in different regions, which is understandable. The only issue is it's only home fans allowed in that club. So for example, if we play West Ham, the 2000 will only be West Ham fans.
Yeah.
So for me, that for me doesn't sit so well with me. I wish they would have given a small portion to the away side to also have some fans.
Yeah,
so that
even 500.
Yeah, so that it's a bit divided. Because I know 2000 ain't doing much, but the fact that players know that there are people watching in the stadium, then even for their away fans, when they are having, like, for example, Southampton versus United, and you're winning that last side, you can run to the 500 of them, 200 of them, and have something to keep you going. So for me, that would be the only downside of it. But completely understood. We have to respect the governance. We have to respect everyone who is in control or in protocol in terms of COVID-19 rules. So for me, it's a welcome move.
Okay, now let's go straight to our prediction for match day 11, and I'll be trying to look at which match we should consider as a big match, because Arsenal Tottenham is no longer looking like a big match. So let's. I'll start with I'll start with SP on your prediction. The latest is that Aston Villa and the Newcastle match has been postponed, so there won't be a Friday football. So we move straight to Saturday, Burnley versus Everton.
Steve, it's sad that the Aston Villa game has been postponed, but understandable. We need to get over this COVID as soon as possible. Going into Burnley Everton, I think it's if you ask me, this is one that Everton has to win. They've been on a poor run of late, and I think they will get at least a point, but they should be good for the 3 points. So Everton, a slim 1-0.
1-0 Everton. Manchester City, Fulham.
Very bad time to be playing Manchester City. They rested KDB for the Champions League fixture on Tuesday. So I really wouldn't want to be in Fulham shoes. I see another battering, like what they did to Burnley over the weekend. 4-0.
4-0. Though Fulham have started picking up.
West Ham, but not against City.
West Ham against Manchester United.
Oof. difficult game, especially because West Ham will have fans in the stadium for the first time in a long time. However, I still think United will win this. Not very comfortably, so I'll go 2-1 Manchester United.
2-1. Just for the record, Manchester United this season they have 100% when they play away from home. Chelsea Leeds United.
Chelsea Leeds United is going to be an interesting game, following the draw 0-0 with Tottenham and the good result for Leeds. However, I still think Chelsea will have a lot more for Leeds, so I'm going 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. West Brom Crystal Palace.
I'll go with my gut here and say West Brom to win this 1-0.
West Brom 1, Crystal Palace 0. Sheffield still with 1 point. They are hosting Leicester. Leicester are also not doing well. So what do you have to take of that game?
Well, I think Sheffield sooner rather than later have to take a decision about their coach. They're doing poorly this season, so I don't expect them to get anything in this game. They have to come out and play. Leicester like teams that come out and play. So I'm going 3-0 Leicester.
3-0 Leicester. And then on Sunday, 7:30 East African time, Tottenham. It's a North London derby. Tottenham versus Arsenal.
The small matter of the London derby. Spurs should have fans, right?
Yes.
So it's
yes.
a bad time.
Yes.
It's a bad time for us.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be ruthless here and say 3-1 Tottenham.
3-1. You think it will be that marginal?
3-1. 3-1 is not marginal. I think
is marginal, but what do you mean?
Comfortable.
It's supposed to be. Anyway.
And I think after this, Arteta will start fighting for his job. He'll be another loss away from being back.
Liverpool. This is going to be an interesting one. Liverpool hosting Wolverhampton.
Yeah, there's word going around that Alisson Becker is positive, and you look at the Champions League lineup on Tuesday, and you see he was missing. So I think Liverpool will be without Alisson Becker for this game. Wolves played really well against Arsenal, so I'll give them a draw. I'll give them 1-1.
1-1 draw, because I remember even last season with Liverpool with their full squad, they really struggled against Wolves. I think they won 2-1.
Yeah.
They just in the nick of time. It was so marginal.
Yeah.
Brighton, Southampton.
This is going to be an interesting game. Brighton, Southampton. I think Lamptey should be back for Brighton. I think sooner rather than later, Southampton will start dropping points. I want to believe this will be the start. So I'll go 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 to Brighton.